Today, I want to talk to you guys about something that I think is like a really big problem in our society nowadays. And really, it's this idea that we get so obsessed with of what a transformation is supposed to look like. And so I want to talk to you about what transformation really looks like and not what we see on social media, because the truth is transformation isn't something that we can really catch on video or in a picture. Like, we can see maybe the results of a transformation, like a before and after situation, or we can show the ways that our life has improved through the actions that we take in our lives, and we can capture that to post on social media. But like true, genuine soul level transformation isn't something that you can showcase online. And so it creates a lot of discrepancy in the way that we think about transformation and how we feel when we actually are trying to go out and achieve it, and allowing ourselves to feel the win of transformation when it doesn't look like an aesthetic picture or video on the internet. Transformation is really more integration than it is becoming someone else. And I feel like that's always the flavor of the post. Like, whether it's a post just somebody showcasing their own life, and by natural human reaction, we find ourselves comparing to them, or if it's literally a post that says like do these things and you'll become this better version of you. And it always has this undertone of you're not good enough now the way that you are. Like, if you follow these things, then you'll be better. And I just don't love it. I don't like how it makes me feel. So today I want to reframe transformation from something that we're fixing about us and into more of becoming more ourselves, and like becoming more in alignment with ourselves. My sister said this thing to me the other day that I just like, it completely blew my mind. I'm obviously always talking to you guys about becoming our higher selves. And she was like, I don't love higher self. And I was like, well, what do you mean? Like, you don't want to become your higher self? Like, I don't get it. And she was like, I like to think of it as my aligned self, my most aligned self. She's like, it just feels more attainable to me. Like, higher self to me always sounds like something that we're never going to reach, like that there's always going to be a higher version of ourselves. And I do think that there's like good in that. I know Matthew McConaughey talks about how the person he looks up to is always him 10 years from now. So like he never actually meets that person. So like I still appreciate that mindset, but I did really enjoy what she said, because I thought that is an interesting way to think about it, like becoming our most aligned self. And so that's the reframe that I kind of want to use for this, is moving away from fixing ourselves and into becoming a version of us that we just feel like absolutely our most aligned self, like our most real us selves. So my goal really is to showcase the difference between like an algorithmic glow up and a real transformational soul level glow up that you really feel inside of your soul. Because isn't that like what is the most important, is that we feel it? Because like we could like do our hair different and wear better clothes and do the Pilates and go on walks and drink water and shit, and like that obviously will help you. Like, those things aren't completely discredited, like those things do work. But at the end of the day, when you don't like genuinely feel like a transformed version of you, like it doesn't matter. And so like that's the goal, is we want to genuinely feel in our soul today like the transformed version of us. So that's what we're going to talk about. Before you go too far into the episode, make sure that you do your one good deed this week by rating and reviewing the show, so that other like-minded people like you and I can find the show. It really does help reach other Wellish listeners, so make sure to do that. And also, we can't forget about taking care of ourselves, besties. You have to absolutely make sure that you're doing right by you and subscribing to Wellish so you don't miss an episode. Okay, let's start by talking about the algorithmic glow up, because really it's just so fun to look at. Like, let's be really honest here. Like, I woke up this morning and I did some scrolling, and I was like, it was kind of bizarre because like I do find myself scrolling most mornings. I know you're not supposed to do that. I do try to do my best to like wake myself up by journaling compared to like scrolling first and then journaling. But I definitely, today was a scroll day. It was a scroll morning. And this has literally never happened to me before. And maybe it was because I was planning this episode that I noticed it. But I had this like observational, like, I'm not gonna call it an out of body experience, okay? But like just play with me for a second here, okay? An out of body experience that I was looking at what I was looking at from like this third party view. And as I'm scrolling, it was like when you see those videos that like are like, hey, social media is fucking nuts. It was like as I'm like I'm not watching the videos, I'm just like scrolling and listening to like the opening hooks. And they're all like, you're not good enough now. Do this instead. Buy this. And it's just like, and you'll be skinny. The reason you have all this face fat is because you have so much cortisol. Like, and it's just like, oh my God. I was just like, this is bad. Like, this is the first thing that I'm consuming every morning. And I know I'm saying what we've heard 1,000 times, but like, I just had this moment today that I was like, wow. So because of that, I did collect a couple like glow up examples for you that I just saw when I was scrolling this morning. Like I did not seek them out. I wasn't trying to like find the best examples. These are just like real normal in my feed examples that I saw this morning. And I wanted to share them with you because they make me feel so incredibly overwhelmed and so incredibly inadequate. And it's aggravating because I really genuinely feel like all of the things that are shared in this light are doable. Like they are good advice. They are things that would make you feel better. They are things that would make you prettier. They are things that would make you feel better about yourself. So we get so sucked into it because they're real things. Like they're telling the truth. It's not things that aren't correct. It's just that it's so overwhelming and it's so, dare I say, surface level to what a transformation really is. But we get so sucked into it because we want proof that we're growing. Like we want proof that there's a transformation taking place. And these things are external, physical things that we could do that will get us results if we do them. And this is the mind suck that I get trapped in, is that I think, okay, so if I do this all of the time, let me make sure. And like, I'm such a rigid person when it comes to this kind of stuff that like, I want to take this person's post and I want to like put it on a note in my phone and make that note my background and make it a to-do list and check the things off every single day for as long as I can until I burn myself out in my brain, even though I know that this isn't what I can do anymore. Like I used to do this without awareness and like that was bad, but I now do it still a little bit. I try not to, but like with the awareness. And it's that I'm like trying to do these things every single day until the day I die, because logically in my brain, if I do it that way, if I do it consistently every single day, then I'll have the most result. It makes the most sense, but it's just so overwhelming. It's not sustainable, and it's genuinely not what makes you feel transformed. Okay, so let me stop yapping about it, and I want to read these to you. So here, this one, and again, it's the pictures they use. You know what I mean? Like if you're here on YouTube, I'll flip this around so you can see it. But like it's just like always like so pretty and good looking. And again, like using these people's real posts, like these are not bad posts. This is really good information. I really enjoy it. But I don't enjoy it. I just lied to you right now. I don't. It makes me feel overwhelmed. It makes me feel not good. I'm yapping again. Okay, so this is what it says. So this says how to go from average to gorgeous. First of all, you're hooked. First of all, you've just called me average. So like now I feel like shit. And I want to be gorgeous because I'm sitting here on the internet looking at gorgeous people all of the time. And I want to be able to walk into a room and be gorgeous. I want to take pictures with my friends and not feel like, what the fuck is that? I want to walk into a room and draw attention to myself. I want men to think that I'm desirable. They're playing on all of these insecurities and wants and dreams that we have in one single sentence. And it catches us and it works. So how to go from average to gorgeous. literally, I'm going to read them to you. And when I'm going through these now with this awareness, I get wildly overwhelmed. So if you, as I'm reading this, if you catch yourself feeling that way, that's something to be noted. So it says, nourish your hair like silk. Avoid heat unless styled intentionally. Weekly oil treatment. Find one timeless haircut that frames your features. Trim every 6 to 8 weeks. Sleep on silk. Towel with microfiber. Body care. Exfoliate 2 to 3 times per week. Moisturize right after your shower. Use oils on damp skin for radiance. Pilates and yoga for posture. Walk with intention and move like you mean it. Hands are part of your first impression. Never chipped polish, bare is better. Keep cuticles neat, moisturized, and clean. Choose one nail shape that suits your hands. Neutral tones, read expensive. Beige, soft pink, milky white, sheer gloss, file weekly. Apply hand cream after washing. Your nails tell the world how much you respect the details. Teeth and lips. A bright smile upgrades your entire face. Whitening strips weekly. Floss daily. Lip balm always. No dry lips ever. Apply lip mask overnight. Gloss equals polish. Skin. Radiant skin changes everything. Cleanse deeply every night. Use retinol and, sorry, I can't read. Niacinamide? Yeah. Vitamin C in the morning. SPF daily. No exceptions. Cold rinse your face. Hydration is so game changing. Drink 3 liters of water. Style. Tailored basics over trends. Pressed shirts, structured blazers, fitted denim, monochrome outfits. Monochrome outfits always look expensive. Steam or iron everything. Your jewelry should whisper, not scream. Energy. Slow down. Enter every room like you belong there. Make brief eye contact, then look away. Smell unforgettable. Pick one scent and own it. Smile slightly. Mystery speaks louder. Environment. Keep your space immaculate. Fresh sheets, clean mirror, uncluttered surfaces. Your surroundings shape your energy, and it shows. Mind. Read something that expands your perspective every day. Walk 10,000 steps. Movement clears your mind. Journal before reacting. Name what you feel, meditate, or breathe deeply for 5 minutes daily. Control your state before your day. Learn something new weekly. Finance, history, psychology. Start your day with what kind of woman do I want to be today? What energy do I want to give off? End your day with what did I handle well? What triggered me? And what does that reveal about me? Weekly check-in. What am I avoiding? What am I grateful for that I almost overlooked? What lesson keeps repeating itself? Monthly reflection. Review your wins and mistakes like data, not drama. Decide what version of you doesn't come with you next month. And then follow me for more. I mean, I feel tired just reading that. Like, do you feel tired listening to it? Like, I'm surprised you didn't just fast forward through that. Maybe you did, because you got that? You got that? Okay, follow it, and then you'll be gorgeous. I'm like mind fucked, okay? That one wasn't even as bad as the first one, and again, they all are giving quality information, so it makes it so logical to listen to it, but it's just like, phew, like I need a disassociation space out for a hot second. It's too much. It's too much. Like, there's just so many other layers to transformation and how it shows up on social media. Like, we see people traveling the world and having really good jobs and having really great homes and having really great families and having really great relationships and the beauty stuff, the good wardrobe, good hair, good nails, good skin, all like, God, we're just so inundated with how we're not adequate now. How the fuck could we ever transform? And my point that I'm trying to make is that all of that stuff isn't a soul level transformation. Like, you could have all of that stuff and that's fucking cool. But you could have all of that stuff with or without a soul level transformation. You can do all of that and still not feel like the best version of you, the highest version of you, the most aligned version of you. You know what I mean? Like, that kind of transformation comes from the mind palace, man. But when we focus on this shit, it makes us equate our transformation with visibility. Like, we feel so scared that if other people can't view it, can't see it, we can't prove it with externals, that means that we don't transform. So instead of chasing this like soul level transformation, this soul level growth that we feel like our highest selves, we end up chasing this shareable transformation. And God, I was so guilty of this. Like, I literally was so obsessed with the idea of wanting to like experience as much life as possible. And I still am. Like, obviously, that's still like something I want to do, but not because it's like before it was because I had to do it in order to like feel like I was enough, like feel like I was worth something, feel like my life was something that I could be proud of. Where now it's just something that I want to do because I think that it would enhance my life. Like, I think it would be better, but I know that it doesn't make up my identity. Like, doing those shareable external things doesn't dictate who I am, but all it does is add to my life. What makes up who I am is what I think of myself and how I transform inside of my mind and inside of my body. And that's the kind of shit that you can't share on the internet. Not because we don't want to. I mean, we do our best to try to share this on the internet. I mean, that's what I'm doing right now, is it not? But I am talking more from the space that transformation is quiet. And I think one of the biggest reasons that real transformation comes from a quiet place is because you really, I've learned is you really have to do it in isolation first. Like, you have to be able to be alone, like, I mean 100% alone, and get to know yourself on this soul level, like build a friendship with yourself and genuinely like who you are on your own first before you can start to integrate that version of you, the highest version of yourself, in society, in relationships, in the world. It's kind of like, doing it in stages. Like, if I can't get a hold of my thoughts in private, if I can't not beat myself up in private, if I can't have compassion for myself in private, if I hate everything about me and everything that I do in private, why the fuck do I think that if I went out into the world and had all of these triggers and stimuli and feedback and perspectives, perceptions of me piled on me from people and experiences that show up in my life, you think I'm going to be able to handle it then? Like, no, that makes no sense. Real transformation is quiet. You have to do it in isolation first. You have to do it on your own first. And then you'll be able to go out into the world and apply what you've learned and how you've transformed, and then transform yourself further through application. Real transformation is like the smallest, tiniest micro moments that happen throughout your day. And I did not say throughout your life, okay? I'm not saying life decisions throughout your life. Like, I'm saying it's literally the tiny moments in your day, the small decisions you make, the conscious thoughts you have, the way you view yourself, the way you show up for yourself. Like, it's making those small decisions and being mindful of your thoughts and feelings as many moments of your day as you possibly can. So like, when normally you would spiral, you make the conscious choice to say, whoa, what's happening? And have a little bit of compassion for yourself and say, okay, I obviously feel that way and I'm having these thoughts and I'm starting to spiral because of this thing that I've experienced. And so it's making me feel that way, and that's okay. I'm okay right now as I am. And I trust myself to get through it, and you're handling it as best as you can. You're being authentic and grounded, and you're good. You're okay. You're safe. And then maybe later that day, you go to the grocery store and the cashier is trying to make small talk with you. And normally you put on your customer service voice. And yes, absolutely. Thank you so much. Oh my God, you're so nice. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for all of your help. Instead of doing that, you take a deep breath and you're just yourself. You just speak the truth. Thank you so much for your help. I appreciate it. Fully different vibe. Fully different vibe. You know what I mean? And it's making that small decision that gets you more aligned with yourself, and then you feel more transformed because you feel like you were still okay to show up as yourself. You didn't have to put on this little performance, this little show in order to prove how nice you are and prove how appreciative you are and prove how good of a person you are and make their day better, because people suck in the world. And that's true. People suck in the world. And most customer service people know, if you've ever worked in customer service, you know that 90% of people are fucking assholes. So you want to show show up and be the not asshole, but you don't have to perform to be that, because you just are that and you just know that. And so you can just show up as yourself. And by doing that small action and noticing that you acted more in alignment with you than with the old version of you that felt that she had to perform, you feel the transformation. And then maybe later that night, you're laying there and you're feeling like, wow, my life is so empty and my entire world sucks and I just don't have a lot going on in my life. And I just really want a boost of serotonin to feel something and feel like I'm living a good life. And so normally in these situations, we would buy food. Maybe we go out to eat. Maybe we do something like that. Call like a friend and try to make plans, or try go out and drink, like do something along those lines. But instead, you make the conscious decision to just do what you genuinely want to do, which is stay home and read a book, or stay home and watch your favorite TV show, or do something cozy and grounded and like going for a walk, something like that, because you know that you don't have to do the external thing in order to prove your worth, in order to prove that your life is good, in order to feel proud of yourself. Obviously, again, if you do genuinely feel that your life is empty, and it really is, it's not just you getting in your head about it. Like if you zoom out and you look at your life and you look at your week as a whole, like, are you making plans with people like once to twice a week? You're probably okay. Are you doing things for yourself a few times a week? You're probably okay. It's probably just right now in this moment, you're bored and you feel like you have nothing. And so you can get yourself to start spiraling about it. But instead of going the route of trying to chase instant gratification, you decide to take the path of delayed gratification and do something that maybe will help you in the long run, or will maybe just help you disengage. You don't have to fix everything. You don't have to jump on it and problem solve everything because it popped into your head. You can just allow things to be what they are and surrender, and know that you're okay and that you are good enough now as you are, and you don't have to do anything in order to prove your good enoughness. And all of that stuff, like making those decisions, that's just one day. That's just one day, hypothetically. And making those choices throughout your day will make you feel transformed. When you make small decisions in your day that get you closer and closer to living more in alignment with your higher self, you feel the transformation inside of your soul without ever having to look prettier or go anywhere or have better clothes or have more money or do any of those things. You can genuinely feel transformed without the externals. But we underestimate the moments because they can't be documented. You're not going to fucking document the way that you showed up genuinely to the cashier and didn't perform with your customer service voice. Like, that's not going to be on the internet. You know what I mean? And then inevitably the paradox is created. The more we try to make transformation visible, the more disconnected we are from it, because that in itself is performance, that we think that we have to do these external things in order to prove transformation to ourselves, to other people, to our ex, to our friends, to people on the internet that don't even know us. We feel like we have to prove it. And so when we do that, we're not making decisions that are in alignment with our higher self. We're not doing things that genuinely serve our soul, and we feel less and less transformed. So how can we reclaim transformation from the algorithm? I think being aware that we have our idea of transformation so tied in to the algorithm is really a huge step in the right direction. Like, I think just having listened to this episode and becoming aware of it, and then being able to like continuously be mindful of it throughout your day-to-day life is going to make a huge difference for you, because you'll see, okay, wait, where am I chasing the externals compared to making small decisions in my day-to-day life that will allow me to feel transformed? Like, what does the transformed version of me do? Like, how does she act? How does she think? How does she feel about things? And then trying to get your thoughts, feelings, and actions more in alignment with that in the everyday decisions that you make. Like, when hard stuff comes up, when things arise, when hard feelings come up, and being able to like take a step back and ask yourself, not what I'm supposed to do, not what society and the internet and the bad bitch era messaging tells me that how I should handle this situation, but what do I genuinely want to do? Like what genuinely would make me feel like I could do this, and when I look back on it, I can say, was I acting in alignment with myself? Like was I showing up as myself? If the answer is yes, then like it's just such a solid feeling. Like anytime I've been in a situation that I feel like uncomfortable about maybe what I said, if I can make sure that the words I use are as much in alignment with who I'm trying to show up as, like who my genuine self is, not who I'm trying to show up as, let me reword that, who my genuine self is, and through that, like who I'm trying to show up as. Then when I start to feel anxious about what I said, being able to say, but would I have said anything different? Was I showing up as myself? Was I being me? And if they don't like that, then that means that me and that person aren't in alignment with each other, and that's okay. That just means that we're not going to be close. It just means that this isn't a relationship that's going to work out. It just means that that's not my person. It just means that we're not going to have this deep, super intense friendship, whatever, you know? It's so it's such a good feeling. It's such a grounding feeling to come to that realization. And then when the answer is no, I didn't show up that way, like I didn't show up as my genuine self, it's just not something to beat yourself up over. It's something to be compassionate with yourself about. Oh, interesting. You must have felt uncomfortable. They must have made you feel like you couldn't be yourself. And maybe other situations in the past have made you feel like you couldn't be yourself. And what's going on there? Like let's dive into that a little bit and try to understand why I felt that way and how I could have shown up more in alignment with myself so I can use that for a situation in the future, because you always get the chance to try again. And that's one of the number one things too. I used to beat myself up for not handling things how I wanted to handle them, but the truth is life sucks and you'll always get the opportunity to try again. Trust me. I think the biggest thing here is to stop chasing a lifestyle. Like stop chasing an image that you're trying to recreate. Stop trying to become something else. Stop trying to become someone else. Stop trying to become an aesthetic video on the internet. And instead, nurture a lifeline, like nurture the relationship that you have with you. Build your friendship with you. Focus on who you are and what you want and how you show up in the world and how you want to show up in the world and who you want to be, who you want to grow into. There's attributes that you can admire in another person's character that you could want to take on. But I think if you took a step back and you looked at yourself objectively, like there's a reason that you're attracted to that, and it's because it's something that you already have within you. So you have to be able to develop it in your own way, that the way you do it is not going to look exactly like someone else. It's going to be your own, and that's when it's actually going to show up in the best, coolest, most authentic, flavorful way, because it will be yours. It won't be a performance. Okay, question of the week. Hey, Sarah, I've been trying to figure out how to actually enjoy where I'm at in life instead of constantly thinking about who I'm supposed to become next. How do you balance wanting to grow with just being content in the now? Okay, one of my favorite ways to think about this comes from an interview that we had recently. It was with Erica Bonham. That's who gave me this advice. A couple episodes ago, she was on. She was really great. But one of the biggest takeaways that I had from her was literally on this exact topic. She said how you have to be grounded in where you are now, but your feet are pointed in the direction of growth. Like, so in other words, like you're always looking towards growth. Like you always are wanting to move in the direction of who your higher self would be, and be mindful of that person so that you can make decisions that will get you more and more in alignment with her. But what your main focus is being okay with where you are now. So thinking about like how you can be more compassionate with yourself, thinking about how you can be more genuine with yourself. I think one of the biggest things for me too, to really get present in the now, is knowing what my core values are and making sure that I'm living as much in alignment with my core values as possible. That was a tip from my therapist. It is huge. We literally talk about my core values in every single session. When I yap about all of my fucking problems to her, at the end of it, whatever I'm done like ranting about, she's literally like, okay, so how does this align with your core values? And it literally has changed my perspective on life. Like, it just makes it so much easier to make sure that I'm living in the now by me, but because I want to be this evolved higher version of me, more aligned version of me, it allows me to make decisions that that evolved higher self, transformed self would be making. So it's like that's how I can be in this like stage of growth, but also still be in the present. There's literally only the now. Like, we have only ever lived in the present. We have only ever lived right now. So we have to put so much of our attention there, because that's all we get. You know what I mean? Like, you never get to this like threshold of like, okay, now I'm in the future. Obviously, we do things to create a better future for ourselves, but like, what we need to focus all of our attention on is enjoying the now more than focusing on how to be better in the future. You're thinking too long term. Like, think about, what can I do to make today good? What can I do to make this hour of my day good? Like, what can I do to make right now, today, in this moment, as fulfilling as possible with the resources and at the level I'm at right now today. And it makes a huge difference. If you have a question of the week, make sure to send it in. The best way is via DM on Wellish's Instagram or TikTok. Both of those are at Wellish Podcast. You can also follow my personal Instagram at sarah.ritondale, and please connect with me there. I absolutely love talking to you guys. It just makes my heart so full, and I love to be able to connect with like-minded people like you and I. So it's a very, very fun, very good. Also, I thought I was going to have an interview Thursday. I didn't. So sorry about that. And really, I don't know if I'm going to have one this Thursday either. Here's the thing. I'll just be honest with you. I've got big plans coming for January 2026. So I've been focusing a lot of my energy there. I've got a plan, like, well, they'll still be interviews. Don't worry. They're not like off the radar. That's still going to happen, but they're going to be a lot more consistent and happening come January. So, and along with a bunch of other stuff that, is just very exciting that I can't get into yet. I'm not going to tell you yet. So, but I'm excited. So yeah, bear with me. All right. Because it's Wellish. Okay. It can't be perfect. Otherwise we wouldn't be called Wellish. So yeah. Okay. I love you. Bye. Talk to you guys later.